Roots picnic, I mean they're genius because they have everybody coming together, every different genre. But then new school, old school, middle school, you know what I'm saying? And you got Lil Uzi Vert and Eric Sherman hanging out because he wanted to introduce Little Uzi Vert to his kids. And they're having a discussion and there is mutual respect. So that was a great example of how it really should be. There shouldn't be a old heads, old school, middle school versus new school. Everybody should be working together. There should never be this segregation shit. If you don't like some shit, you don't like some shit. If it's whack to you, you ain't gotta listen to it. You know what I mean? But if you want to combat that, then dope cats that feel like this is the music, then y'all need to be putting out more of what y'all do so there's a variety for people to hear. But it even gets doper if y'all can collaborate together and we can learn from each other. Because there's certain stuff I can listen to, most shit I can't. But I'm going to find what works for me. But it's just that people are open on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's what's dope about it. I can go on about it, and that'll be too long. But that's how I feel.
Preem led, he talked about that last night, how he and Little Uzi had a conversation and squashed everything and kind of came to an understanding, which I thought was really dope. My feeling on that was it needs those conversations need to be
known. They need to be public. They need to be mainstream. Yeah, and then we'll know how sincere and how committed, you know what I mean,
both
those
sides
words are. Yeah, we know Preem is committed. You know what I mean? Because I don't know this other guy, but we'll see. But that's a step in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Hey, you were on Preem's show last night promoting the album. It was DJ Eclipse's show, Rappers Out of Control.
Shouts out to DJ Eclipse.
He gave us some light, but Primo showed up, gave you some words as far as the records were concerned, and talk about the album a little bit. We do have a brand new project on the way in October. The fans have been riding with you. You started this whole pledge campaign. What was that about?
Successful. It was a smart way for independent artists who don't have the investors or financial backing to be able to put their album out. So it's like a virtual label. It's a virtual factory to manufacture your merch, to manufacture your vinyl, manufacture your physical CDs. You see what I'm saying? And have reach where there's a hub for your fans, straight to consumer, for them to get the music. So it was a great way for us to start it up. And then to make our way into now with the iTunes, Beats One, Apple Music situation. So everything was a great stepping stone, but it was the proper way where we stay in control of what we believe in and what we fight for and what we hold dear to our hearts. And it's our music, it's our identity, and it's our dreams. So you have to be very staunch on protecting that. You know what I mean? And I learned that from everything I've been through being in this business as long as I have.
Which leads me into something else. You mentioned Apple and Beats One. Beats One, that's the whole Dr. Dre situation.
That's the whole big bro. Yeah.
You right back around to, you've come almost 360. What's that like?
Right. But we did a 180. Whenever people say I did a 360, it's like, nigga.
Right.
No, I'm not to you. I'm just saying I almost did a 360. I'm just telling motherfuckers out there to be like, yeah, it's 360. It's like, then that means you're back in the same place you started. You don't want that shit. But that's a lesson I want to give to people. In life, a lot of times things are not going to go the way you want them to. Mm-hmm. A lot of times things are going to go the way that you don't deserve to experience them go and happen to you. And I was one of those. But the thing is to make sure that you don't become embittered and destroy your future, because all wounds heal, all possibilities are endless. Doors that close at some point will open again. And so here we are in a situation where Dre is supporting it, and we're on the pharmacy. Shouts out to everybody on the pharmacy, YN, Pooh. I can't say enough of Cat, J-Rock, everybody over there supporting in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. Exhibit, everybody over there making it like it was when I first started, but it's fun and it's free, and just playing an album for Dre and impressing him and seeing me do it on my own. That's it. I'm at peace, and now it's just moving forward, and I'm just getting warmed up,
What is it like having a billionaire's phone number? What is it like being able to call Bruce Wayne whenever you feel like it? Like a dude worth $1 billion is in your phone, 7 digits away from a dude with so many O's on the end of his net worth.
Yeah, he said some funny shit one time. He said that his bank account sounds like this, and he dropped it and said, if he dropped his black card, it would go through the earth and shit, the weight of the money. It was just dumb, and I was like, I didn't really need to hear that. I can't relate, nigga. But It's a gift and a curse because other people want to get to that, or for yourself, we have a different relationship. So it's not like I can go to him and be like, I want to buy the Grand Canyon. I would like that. I want to buy Bigfoot. I want to buy the Loch Ness monster.
Right. Elephant Man.
You know what I
bones.
mean? Yeah, I want to go to Area 51 and get a UFO. I know you can afford it. I know you can reach somebody that knows how to do that.
Right.
So, but it's cool to have him there to reach out. It's the same way we started, but it's in a better place because now we can strictly be big brother, little brother, and communicate, and there's no pressure, and I'm not an employee. You know what I'm saying? So now it's no bullshit. It doesn't have to be any tension. And so it's cool to know Bruce Wayne. But, a nigga need to let me get in that back cave and start taking some accessories out, which we're doing now, so it's cool.
But my other question, I mean,
Thank you, Mr. Young.
that you guys go back,
Very far.
but the politics has always been crazy. But it's not just label politics. In L.A., the street politics have been, have been legendary, for all the do's and don'ts. And you can do this, you can't do that. Snoop has stories, Game has stories about, just how things operate. Charlemagne was talking about it on the radio the other day. And you come from that. You're in that mix. How do you make the moves you need to make?
It depends on the moves. What do you mean exactly?
I mean, like, if you want to collab with this person, or as far as, do you have to make a phone call, or what are some? Because just recently, you had a record where Farrakhan's name came up. You recently put out the apology as far as to Cam and the Nation of Islam was concerned.
Because Big Cam, you know what I mean. That put Big Cam in the wrong position because they misinterpreted it. And Big Cam go hard in the paint for me. That's my big homie. You know what I mean? That's one of my heroes. So he looked out for me. It was like, man, they got it twisted. It don't sound right. It's the brothers over here are not happy with that, and that's the last thing I want to do. Especially when these are the people that I push for and I look up to, and they're part of what I'm trying to achieve. And that's the real. You know what I mean? It's one thing about street ties or gang ties, but when it comes to the nation and it comes to real brothers who are pushing for the most high, that's a whole different ball game. And what we're trying to really achieve here in America and around the world, facing the racism, facing the police brutality. I joke a lot. You already know what the fuck I say off camera, and just be joking about the police and Blue Lives Matter and all that. But at the end of the day, what is really important is what I'm about. So I can't have there be any friction, any miscommunications between the people that are playing a very instrumental part in what we need to achieve. So that's where Cam comes in when he lets me know, yo, the brother's upset about this. It done got over here to Farrakhan and blah, 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 and it's not the right light for you to be in because I know you. So fix this. You know what I'm saying?
And that was the record Un-American.
No, that was Go Time. So what I did was right away did the apology because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It got misinterpreted. Fine. I'm a man. I'm not gonna sit here and argue and get on some bullshit. Now if I'm right, then we fighting all day long. Fuck that. Whatever. But not to the big homie and not to the truth. So new version of that is coming because it's still required, especially when now I'm finding out another young man was just killed over the weekend in L.A. So that's one side of it. But with the politics as far as artists and them being from gangs, I pretty much know everybody in L.A. from growing up in L.A., all over Cali, whatever. So I have a different kind of rapport and a reputation. So either I know these cats directly or I know one of their best friends and they go, yeah, I've been wanting to work with homie, blah, blah, blah. But it's got to be real niggas. I'm not going to fuck with nobody I don't think is real or I think is on the same wavelength as I am with what we're trying to achieve. You know what I mean? If we don't have the same kind of principles and morals, there's no sense in doing a song because everybody I do songs with, I genuinely respect and have a different kind of relationship with. It's not where it's some weirdo shit where a nigga sends a verse, you've never met him before, and you know what I mean? And it's just weird, and it's got to be really down to the ground. Something that I learned from Dre was, he always said, if I can't go to dinner with niggas, if I can't do normal shit and hang out with niggas, I really don't want to be doing music with you because what kind of person are you? So for me, that's what it is. Secondly, for me, I've never had issues on that level in the streets because I don't gangbang. But I fuck with all sides. I only fuck with the real niggas. So it's not an issue for me that I can't go here, I can't go there. You know what I mean? Because not only am I present in the streets, 24/7, but I take it a step further, and I'm involved in the youth centers, and we're involved in the detention centers, and now we're going to be going into the prisons, and we're doing all this work. So we do it top to bottom. So it's one thing to rep hoods and talk all this crazy shit, but if you're not fixing these hoods and you're not trying to stop this madness, then I really can't respect you. You know what I mean? So if you're not talking like that, if you're not looking at trying to figure out how we can make a truce that starts from Cali and spreads across the nation, I don't want to talk to you. Long ass answer, but that's.
No, I mean, but even with that, there's still space for when rappers beef with each other. You got thoughts on that?
Time. Yeah, that's a waste of time. I mean, to me, the school I come from and will always be from, fuck rap. You know what I mean? If you have an issue, it should never be on a song anyway, because it clearly is for entertainment. If it's really a serious issue, I can't even talk. I'm pedal to the metal trying to take a nigga head off. Quiet is kept. This is between me and you. This is not for world consumption. If we really have issues, I'm not going to go book studio time and sit down and think about how I'm mad at you. I'm going to find out where you are. Is this nigga doing the show? Where can I get this nigga? Because I really don't want it to be public, so it can be between just me and you. Because it's not about putting that kind of imagery out there, because it's already bad enough how they look at hip-hop. But how bad they look at the black man and think we're animals.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with fighting. There's nothing wrong with defending yourself. It's another thing of going to look for trouble. So it's the levels of what kind of disrespect it is. Only time I ever got involved on that level, which was covered a little bit earlier in my career, was when somebody said that they had put money on my head, put money on Razcaz's head, put money on Exhibit head. I don't take death threats lightly. You can talk shit all day long on songs because it's wrestling. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's make-believe. So you can say, you're going to hit me with a planet, you're going to do this, and cool. But once you say you threatening my life, then that's it, nigga. And I have to get to you before my big homies get to you, because they don't play. I'm the good guy. I'm the rapper. I'm trying to heal. They kill. So that's me. So when these rappers are beefing, it's really for entertainment. Because any real man, this is me and how I was raised, is going to go get directly at dude, quiet as kept, and deal with it, because that's not rap. It's not freestyling.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's another bad cloud that hovers over hip hop. When there were lyrical battles, like BDP, Juice Crew, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? MC Shan, Karis One, that's what that was. You know what I'm saying? But it stayed where it was supposed to stay.
Ether and Takeover.
Yeah. It stayed where it was supposed to stay. But once it gets out of the speakers and it's in the streets, it's not fun anymore. And the paying for the bail and paying for coffins, paying for lawyers, people's heartache, mothers missing their children, it just doesn't make any sense to me. When an ass whooping builds character, just an ass whooping. Leave guns alone, leave knives alone, like MC Light said. MC Light's on the microphone. Ass whoopings build character. That's why I'm such a good dude. My mom whooped my ass. I got in fights in the street. I'd win, I'd lose, rematch, whatever. Builds character, but you get up, you walk away. Sometimes you end up being best friends with niggas you used to fight with.
Because everybody respects each other. You know the dude's hard. You know he's not a punk.
Right. But this shit that happens on records is just really a waste of time, when you should be using that studio time to make amazing songs. Especially in the times that we live, we don't really have time to be fighting with each other. When the police, the crooked police, the racist setup that we have in this country is at an all-time high of reinforcing their corruption and their intentions. And we don't have time for this shit. We don't.
Which is why
message.
This is why I kind of bug out when people come at Kaepernick as hard as they do, seeing all the things that happen around him. And he pulled off a peaceful protest, and everybody just seems to beef about it.
It's funny because they only seem to like us to catch the ball and run around and tackle, but when we speak up on what really matters, they're offended. They only want to see us as athletes in entertainment, but don't want to see us as human beings. So when you take someone like Kaepernick and then they try to twist his words, this is always the great thing about racist white America. And I always say racist white America so no one can misconstrue my words and say, he's talking about white people. Please, Playboy, I'm in Santa Barbara. I'm everywhere. I got white ones, baby, like Superfly. So don't even start that shit with me. God. They go, he's dissing the military. He said all the people who go and serve for this country and come back and get treated like second-class citizens. He didn't disrespect the military. Oh, he's disrespecting the flag. Motherfucker, my family served in almost all the fucking wars. Ever since black people have been here, African Americans have been here, we served in every fucking war. The Revolutionary War, the Civil War, Korean War, whatever the fuck you want to say, World War I, World War II, whatever you want to say, we've been here. So don't act like we're not patriots. But you want to treat us like animals. So that aside, do your history. You can Google that shit. When we used to have to go to the library and shit to read all this shit, now you can just Google. Next part of that, what they did to Kaepernick. Sorry for being long-winded, but it always pisses me off. They don't bring up, he's dissing the national anthem. Motherfucker, it was made by a slave owner. It was made by a bitch-ass nigga that was bitter that he got his ass kicked. Fort McKinley or McHenry, something like that. He got his ass beat. The British were using free slaves to fight against these bitch-ass niggas. Y'all lost. You still made a song like y'all won, because I didn't realize it. The flag was still there because they got their ass beat so bad, but it came out, he's like, oh, the flag was still standing. Fuck you in hell wherever you are. Roll over your grave 5 billion times. They threatened us on the third verse of the song. This is why. It's not about a fucking... It's not about the flag. It's not about patriotism. It's about a song that is for motherfuckers that would like to see us still be slaves. It threatened any free slave wherever you are. May the grave be. Listen to the fucking song. I don't want to misquote it, and I don't want to seem like an angry black man.
The third verse.
Just go to the third verse. This is why we don't need that fucking song. If my Jewish brothers. If it was a song about fucking Hitler still wanting to have Auschwitz popping and all that kind of shit, you wouldn't allow that shit to happen. If my Jewish brothers, if that was a situation for them, that shit wouldn't be standing. If there were statues with Hitler still being praised, like they say the South will rise again and Confederacy is fine, that shit wouldn't be happening. So there can't be double standards. And I'll leave it at that. I'll be quiet. So salute to Kaepernick, one of the realest niggas I've seen in many, many moons.
Since Ali,
hence my bootleg Muhammad Ali, rest in peace to Ali. But the rest of you coons on these teams that's scared, that's on these plantations that don't want to speak up for your own people, y'all some bitch ass niggas, plain and simple. What is going on is a human epidemic. It's not just blacks being killed. It's white people too, because it's about a power situation where the police force is corrupted. It has hemorrhaged to a point where they don't have therapy. They're not being paid properly. There's some crazy shit going on inside there that we need to be aware of as well. But understand, little white boy was murdered. Little white girls have been murdered. Hispanics have been murdered. Native Americans have been murdered. Women, children, men. This is a human epidemic. This is a threat to us. So you need to get off that bullshit, stop worrying about your checks, and worry about your life. Because it doesn't matter how much money you make if you're not safe anywhere you go. Because if you're not going to be in them cleats and them football uniforms, somebody going to mistake you for one of these niggas in the streets, and the same shit that's happened to them can happen to you. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to be quiet.
This is
Excuse me. Pardon me.
So
My
much,
big eyebrows get angry.
so much consciousness coming from
So much consciousness.
a dude who once said he would, punch a dude's face in the juice.
I will still turn a nigga's face into juice. That will never change. But the nigga that I want to turn his face into juice is because he deserves it, because he's probably a coon or he's against progress. He's probably not a part of the solution. He's a part of the problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, and I was younger then. I'm way more aware of my responsibility as a man, as a black man, as a servant, as a father, as a servant of the Most High, as a part of the human race. Because that's the other thing. I have to say again, shouts out to Elliot Jones. If you're not hip to this wonderful teacher who eradicates racism in like 5 minutes whenever she does her. Have you ever seen Elliot?
Oh, yeah, Elliot.
Yeah.
No, is it Elliot? It's not Elliot. It's
Isn't it
what's
Elliot
her name?
Jones?
No, her last name is Elliot.
Elliot.
Jane Elliott.
Jane Elliott, thank you. Jane Elliott is so gangster. Hats off to you. This is the human race. So when they try to compartmentalize and separate us, that's how you fall for the trap. So it's so important in being aware of this and getting to be around Gina Belafonte and Mr. Harry Belafonte. So many different people have influenced me, and it's always what I want to do anyway. I was more of an activist than I was a hip hop artist. It's just what we do, but I never like to talk about it too much until I have more to speak on that. But that's where I'll leave it, and we'll continue. It went on too long. But salute to Kaepernick. You other motherfuckers, stop being coons. And we never talk about it, but the women in the WNBA that have been representing for us. The women always represent for us, and it's incredible. So salute to the women, because the women have more balls than most of these niggas. So,
Didn't Serena just get down and make a nice little? Serena just made a nice little statement talking about getting off the sideline and jumping in the front and everything.
Message. So look what Kaepernick is doing. So I'm quiet. Moving on. But yeah,
I think.
But stop They love to twist shit. Stop making it about a song. And please, they never say third verse. They're like, you can't disrespect the song. America was already formed way before this song was created, so it has nothing to do with the foundation of our country.
So I take it you're not a Trump supporter. You don't want to make America great again.
Trump is not going to make anything great again. What he's doing is he's making his pockets great again, but that's what a politician and a businessman does. You know what I mean? I just think he's amazing for keeping that hair like that. When a nigga can rock that hair dead serious and have people wanting him to be president, that's confidence. That's another level of pimp styles. Then to be high while you're doing a debate, that nigga was sniffing so much, I was like, damn, this nigga did so much booger sugar backstage. You know what I'm saying? And then when you can blatantly be like, I avoided not paying, that makes me smarter if I didn't pay my taxes. Like, he gets away with the most fuckery I've ever seen of any human being in all my time on this planet. So you have to give Trump his props for his fuckery, his power to like he's got that Men in Black shit or that Jedi trick. Like, I didn't say none of that bullshit, and niggas can get away with it. So, but no, I'm not a supporter of Trump.
Hillary's not that far behind though. I really wasn't. She lied right on the stands, lied to everybody, got busted, went in front of Congress, and still nothing happened. Like,
exactly. But again, like I always tell people, because I hear so many people go, I mean, look, will we ever think in our lives we see an election where we don't want to vote for either motherfucker? You know what I mean? Wow.
Facts.
Wow. And I've been asking people, what is in the laws written that if the people did decide to vote for neither one, what would happen? What would happen as far as who would be president, or would Congress come in? How would it run? How would the government run without that seat being filled? There has to be some other contingency plan if it went that way. So looking at Hillary or looking at Trump, as we discussed it, shouts out to Ryu and Apathy with the Un-American song, they're not going to fix our problems. No president has ever been able to fix our problems. We have to fix our problems. We have to be conscious in our own cities and our own communities, understand how legislation works. All this stuff that's a fucking clusterfuck while we're just trying to pay our bills, raise our children, and survive this fuckery outside. But people have to get that in their mind, that regardless of you voting for Hillary or voting for Trump, it's still, both wings are still attached to the same crazy-ass bird. So that's not going to change. It's going to be whatever the cover of the book is going to be, but the content is going to be the same. It's just going to be different kind of languages and ways that the fucking is going to happen to us.